Hey Ceramics! Today we're going to be talking about our Sgraffito bowls. I'm super excited. Sgraffito is one of those techniques, decorating techniques, that is fun to do, and all different ranges of abilities can do it. So stay tuned to check out the introduction to what the project's going to look like. And then also I created my own demonstration to kind of get a better feel for the different options that I'm giving you to make these bowls. I'll be right along with you for the whole process, so stay tuned. You will be making one functional bowl that can be used to eat out of or store things in. So some examples could be candies, trail mix, change, keys, etc. Functional means there's no spaces or holes in the bottom of the bowls, there's no sharp edges or canvas texture on the clay. You will be using a plastic bowl to use as a mold. So what's a mold? You will create coils, place them inside the bowl, and scratch and slip them together. Coils will also be smoothed into each other so that there are no seams, and it makes the bowl stronger. How can we make sure that the clay doesn't stick to the press mold? So you're going to have an option to leave the coils on the outside to create a designed pattern, and the inside you're definitely going to smooth out in Sgraffito. Here are two different examples of what that can look like when you leave the coils. I just thought it was kind of an interesting idea. It's definitely not something that is required, but if you choose to do it, that is an option. Something to keep in mind is, when you are making designed coils, you do need to be decent at making the coils, so that doesn't take you 3 or 4 class periods to make this. It should still take you 2 days to make the bowl itself. So if you're having a hard time coiling even coils, then maybe this design technique isn't the best for you, and that's okay too. No worries. So what is Sgraffito? In Italian, it means to scratch. So you're going to be applying underglaze to an unfired ceramic body and then scratching the surface to produce an outline drawing or pattern. What is underglaze? And can underglaze go on the bottom of your bowl? The pattern should be visually interesting and should cover the inside and or the outside of your bowl. Sgraffito designs can be zentangles, patterns, scenes, etc. So here are some examples showing you mostly black and white. So black underglaze is applied and then it's scratched away to reveal the white of the clay. And that's the same as ours. So you will be painting whatever color you want, and then whatever you scratch away will stay white as the clay, and whatever it stays will be the color of the underglaze. I think the most important thing when looking at successful Sgraffito objects is how the artist has chosen to create various line weights. Notice how the bottom bowl in this slide, you can kind of see how they scratched away a little bit of the background, leaving that texture design. That's really interesting to me. Also notice how they, on the top bowl, they kind of have a thicker line that outlines each flower to give it more of a shape. That's also an option. And then, a variety is really important. If you want a bunch of images to work together, having a variety of line and a variety of value is really important when you're starting to plan out and create your Sgraffito design. Okay, so we use Amico underglazes, and these are the colors that we have in the studio, except for the white textile. Disregard that one. We don't have white underglaze because our clay is already white. So you can imagine that the colors black, dark green, brown, purple, and blue are all going to be a little bit more contrasting in the difference between that color and the color of the clay. If you were to choose suntan or light pink or yellow, the contrast just isn't going to be as obvious. So what you carve, you may have to be closer to it to really see what's going on. So what do? When your project is soft leather hard, you're going to paint underglaze on the project. Once the underglaze is dry, you gently carve in details and or designs inside, outside, bottom of the bowl using the Sgraffito tool and loop tool provided. Whatever you carve away will be white. And then after bisque firing, what do you think we should do in order to seal the bisqueware and make it functional? So there's always different shapes of bowls, and that's something I want to make sure you guys really think of, is it's okay if you make a round bowl with a flat lip, but also you can think about having a curved lip or having a different shape bowl altogether as part of the overall design that you're creating. You are also allowed to create handles and add handles to your bowls. These are some examples of different types of handles that are on bowls. So that's something that if you wanted to add, you can. And also feet. So the one on the left-hand side, it's actually called a foot. It's just a coil that's rolled out and just gives a little bit more height to the bowl, lifts it off the ground. And then the other two that you're seeing are called feet because there's more than one. And again, they lift the bowl off the ground. It's more of a design or decorative technique, but it's kind of fun. And if you guys choose to do that, you're more than welcome to. It's really important you take your time to sketch out ideas in your sketchbook because at the end of the day, you are sketching on clay. So doodles and tangle, gather images and ideas on a few of the pages so that you have plenty to choose from when it's time to actually draw your bowl. Please be creative. So a repeated triangle or circle isn't really what the assignment is intended for. I'm looking for a lot more detail and thought behind the Zentangle that you choose to make. And the quote of, I can't draw, everyone can draw something. So figure out what you're best at and go from there. The bowl is going to look awesome no matter how strong your drawing abilities are.